Hello, everybody. This is the worked out answer key that I promised for the mid-chapter quiz review. And this is, you should have done this and had your work shown. You can check off of this when you do have a quiz tomorrow. So these are the type of questions that you will see. So the first thing we're asked is, what is the degree of this monomial? Remember, a monomial means there's only one term. And the power is, or the exponent is your degree. So this is degree 8. Okay, the next question says to write it in standard form and then name it based on its degree and number of terms. So remember, when we write something in standard form, we want to have the highest power first. So we're going to have the 3x squared be first, followed by, since this is a positive 4x, a plus 4x. Now we have to name it based on its degree and based on the number of terms. Degree, it is to the second power, and that is a quadratic. And then since there are two terms, that is a binomial. So 3x squared plus 4x, and it's a quadratic binomial. Number 5 says we are going to add two trinomials here, two quadratic trinomials. So what we're looking for here, since it's all addition, I don't have to change any of the signs. We're going to actually collect the like terms. So I'm looking for things that have the same letter and the same power. So there's 1x squared here and 3x squareds here. We'll end up with 4x squareds for our first term. Now I have a 6x and a 7x. When I add those two up, I will get a 13x. And a plus 11 and a plus 4. When I add just the constants, that's what a number is called, I get 15. So 4x squared plus 13x plus 15 should be your answer. Keep in mind, if you get multiple variables when you're writing something in standard form, you still do it in descending order by the power, but you also have to put the variables in alphabetical order. So let's say there were some y's in here. We'd have to have the x term first and the y term second. Be careful on subtraction problems because you have a minus sign that could potentially mess you up. So make sure you distribute that minus sign right away. It goes to all the terms behind. And I'm just rewriting the first polynomial here. I'm going to add the opposite. Add the opposite. Add the opposite. That way, when I collect my like terms now, I can make sure that I have the right signs with them. So I'm going to look for the q squared terms, and I've got two of them. 4q squared, take away two of those q squareds, you get 2q squared. I have a negative 7q and a 10q. So 10q's take away 7q's is 3q's. And then 7 and negative 5 makes 2. So 2q squared plus 3q plus 2 should be your final answer. Number 9, we are actually distributing. We're doing a monomial multiplied by a quadratic binomial. So you're going to use the arrows and you're going to multiply the number parts. 6 and 4 times 4 makes 24. X squared times x squared, same base, different exponents, means we're going to add 2 plus 2. So first term from that multiplication is 24x to the 4th. I'm going to do that in red since it is an answer. And then I have to also not play favorites. I have to make sure I distribute the 6x squared times the 3. So plus 18x. All right, and that's what we will be left with. Number 11, we have to factor. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the 16, the 8, and the 20 and say, what is the biggest number that divides those three? And if you remember, we did factorization. You could do it with prime factors, like what I'm showing here, and then break those down. Or you could just do it with a regular list of factors. So it looks like 20 is 2 times 2 times 5 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, and 16 is 4 2's multiplied together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for commonalities. I got a single 2 here I can take. So I got a GCF of 2 times. Looks like I have another 2 in common between all 3 of these factor lists. And nothing else. So my GCF is 4. All right, so I'm going to factor out a 4. Okay, then I'm going to look at the letter terms or the variables. There's 4 B's here, 2 here, and 1 here. The most I have in common between all 3 of these terms is 1 B, so that B gets to come out. And then I'm going to say, all right, 16 divided by 4 is 4. B to the 4th divided by B to the 1st, I take 4 minus 1, and I'm going to get B to the 3rd. 8 divided by 4 is 2. B squared, take away a B, is B. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And B divided by B is nothing. So here's my factored form. 4B times the quantity 4B cubed plus 2B plus 5. All right. Number 13, we need to simplify these two binomials by multiplying them together. And there are patterns to follow. I tend to like FOIL, but you can also do the other ones that we talked about in our notes. X times X is X squared. That's the first for FOIL. 9 times X is 9X, so I get outside ones of 9X. 2 times X is your inside ones. And 2 times 9 is your last. And 2 times 9 is 18. Then just look to collect your like terms. And it looks like I have a 9x and a 2x. So x squared plus 11x plus 18. Okay, can you wait just a sec, hon? Then we have